It's a lovely still morning, and it's a joy to be out in it actually. It's pretty early in the morning as this is sort of late July. Actually 10 years ago, would you believe? How time flies, hey. But you should recognise where I am, as I've shot from here before in a video I showed earlier on. It's a wee bit of a hill farm I've got permission to shoot on. A lot of it is rough ground, but there's 3 good silage fields in it. Now, it's mostly used for grazing sheep, especially the lower bit, as it's quite rough and isn't really any good for silage or any other crops. So I'm up here this morning to try and get a few hooded crows. Now, I know lambing time's basically over, but the farmer likes me to keep pressure on the crows, because if they see any sheep that are sickly, or especially ones that have rolled onto their back and can't get back onto their feet again, they'll have the eyes out of it, because I've seen the evidence myself. So to help bait the crows down, I'm using a dead rabbit split open and the guts sort of poked out a wee bit. Basically to look as if a fox has killed it through the night and then sort of ate its fill and walked away and left the rest. And I've also added to that a dead magpie as a decoy, because I didn't have any hooded crows available at the time. Now this film's a wee bit different from the rest, as it's one of the few that I actually used my Ruger 7722 target varmint in 22 Magnum rimfire. Now this is a gun that I have for a few years but didn't use too much on camera, and have recently traded it in for a 17 Hornet. As you can see, the crows did appear fairly early on, but they definitely kept their distance from me. I know the 22 Magnum's a fairly potent little round, but I wanted the birds in closer for a surer shot. Then I had a couple of magpies show up. Now they are on my quarry list, but the hooded crows are number 1. So while there was still an opportunity to get a hooded crow, I let the magpies alone. Anyway, they can do a good job acting like live decoys. As you can see, the morning has moved on quite a bit, as it's a good bit brighter now, and I finally have an opportunity at a hooded crow. But he seems quite nervous, so I took my time really getting on target with him. That, and I was mucking about with the camera too much to try and keep him in the centre of the picture. And it looked like a dead cert. Should be a dead crow. What could go wrong? Yep, I got a click and no bang, with a bolt action. So I ejected the cartridge and loaded another one. By now, a second crow had landed. The birds look as if they've got much more confidence now, and it looks like I might even get a chance at a double. But no, the gun misfires again. Like, what is it with me and rimfires, hey? I had a look at the back of the cartridge, and there was no firing pin mark, so something obviously was stopping the firing pin from hitting the cartridge. Now, while I was still trying to figure out what the problem was, a third crow had arrived. I think by now they'd realised I'd been disarmed and were starting to gang up on me. Never mind a double. A shotgun with a tight choke would have had all three of them there. But by now, I think I've cleared the problem. Nope, another misfire. And even though it was just a click, all three birds obviously heard it at 50 yards. But I wasn't beat yet. I used the only tool at hand, a stalk of grass, to clean out the firing pin hole. And then got loaded up for another try. And yes, there was one crow still there. And it looks like the third time's a charm. After a while, I had another couple of corvids drop in, but they weren't hooded crows, it was a couple of ravens. It was obviously a mated pair. Now, ravens are protected in the UK, so I can't shoot them. They were interested in the setup, but it turned out they were more interested in pulling about that hooded crow I'd shot. And they seemed to dislike the magpie as well for some reason. They're quite a big bird, a lot bigger than a hooded crow and a magpie, as you can see. They dandered around for a while, raking things basically, but once their curiosity was satisfied, they cleared off. Shortly afterwards, another bird arrived, this time a young rook. I could hear them all morning in the distance. Whether they were over somebody's barley field or a fresh cut silage field, I'm not sure. It's not really what I'm looking for, but I'll take the opportunity when I have it. Thankfully, after a long wait, one of the hooded crows finally came back and gave me an opportunity for a shot. But it wasn't a great shot. I quickly reloaded and got a second shot on target, putting him down for good this time. Almost straight after that last shot, this magpie arrives. And with a couple of hooded crows in the bag, the truce is now off, and he's fair game. Och, never mind about the camera, just take the shot. That's more like it. Well, my ravens really pulled that magpie about. Didn't eat much of the rabbit. That's the second bird I shot. First shot obviously smashed the wing. Not sure where the second shot went, but it dropped them clean. First bird I shot. Oh, no wonder he drops it clean. Ravens are pulling him about too. And this is a magpie. Oh, there's the wee exit hole there. Oh, a good shot. And this is the young rook I shot. Not raiding any barley fields. They're not bad. 2 greyback crows, magpie and a rook. Decent morning's work. Bit of a mixed bag at the end of the morning. And if you want to know, when I got home, I stripped the bolt for the rifle, give it a good clean, and it never give me any bother since. Though I have to say, I much prefer the 17 Hornet that I replaced it with.